Good morning, everyone. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com with your morning market outlook for Friday, August 21st, 2026. It's a Friday in August. It should be a fairly quiet day with a lot of people leaving the office or walking away from their computer screen after lunch. So we're not expecting any major damage to be done today. Now, stock index futures are starting the day off higher with the NASDAQ leading the markets up. Yesterday, it was the Dow leading the markets down. We're certainly not eating into yesterday's big losses in the Dow. Looking at commodities, and crude oil has been up and down all morning. Right now, it's down a dime, so no major move there. And we've got the gold continuing to move higher on Friday morning. On Friday mornings, I like to print off some weekly charts just to see how the things look. A lot of times we get caught up in short-term movements in the market and forget what the big picture is. The VIX is still on a weekly sell signal here. Yes, it's up over 12% on the week, but you barely notice that. And we're nowhere near a weekly buy signal coming into Friday's trading action. Now, the bond market has been very active this week, and we made a new low for this move in the 30-year bond, and it is currently up a little over 0.5%. With the government intervention we saw on Wednesday, bond yields made a new high this week, but pulled back going into Thursday's close. The S&P 500 down just under 2% on the week, while the NASDAQ 100 is down 2.77%, so no change in trend there. The Russell 2000 down 2.48%. The TSX Composite down just under 1% on the week. Now, the TSX 60s being hit a little harder given the fact that the bank stocks make up a lot more of the TSX 60 than they do the TSX Composite. The energy sector up over 4%, while the financials are down 5.78%, and that's a weekly sell signal for the financials. Looking at the gold stocks, they're up over 10% on the week. We've got the crude oil up 5.33%. We've got the price of gold up over 3%. And then Bitcoin is the big story of the week, up over 15%. Bitcoin was treading water for several months there, and now we finally got interest in Bitcoin. So everything Bitcoin related has been moving up this week. Now, what didn't work yesterday, the biotech sector was the big loser in percentage terms after gapping higher on Wednesday. And of course, it gapped higher on Wednesday on the back of Moderna, which pulled back yesterday down over 23% on the day, had an inside day for Moderna. So that's why the biotech sector led the market lower yesterday. Now, we knew Walmart was going to gap lower at the open, didn't know where it was going to close, and it's down over 9% on the day. Of course, Walmart's been in the doghouse for a while now, trading from under the flypaper channel, and it's been on a weekly sell signal for several months now. Looking at the retail ETF, it made a new low for this move on Thursday. We also had Costco roll over, and again, Costco trading from underneath the flypaper channel, so we've been in the doghouse for a while. TJ Maxx made a new low for this move, while we saw Target make a new high on Wednesday, small pullback on Thursday. When you compare Walmart and Costco to Target, you can see that it's a completely different stock, and of course, Target has been beaten down for quite a while, and it has come back in 2026. So that stock certainly trading from above the flypaper channel, which tells you the market likes Target, does not like and has not liked Walmart or Costco for quite a while now. A US dollar index continued to move lower yesterday and then closed slightly higher on the day, so came back from an intraday low. Now, the bond market, which popped on Wednesday on the back of that intervention, pulled back on Thursday, so no fall through to the upside. That is also true for bond yields, which were higher yesterday. And there's the TLT, which popped on Wednesday, pulled back on Thursday. It is coming into Friday still on a daily buy signal. Now, what worked yesterday, anything crypto related in percentage terms, the biggest sector move was the CoinDesk crypto ETF, which ended the day up over 7%. So continuing to move higher there. On the TSX 60, Kinross was the big winner. On the TSX Composite is Ero Copper was the big mover, up over 5%. On the Dow, the big winner was McDonald's, which is still on a daily sell signal here. And of course, McDonald's has been in the doghouse since March, so that has not changed at all. Looking at the NASDAQ 100, it was MicroStrategy, again, another crypto-related stock continuing to move higher. And then on the S&P 500, the big winner was Nordson, and it was up over 8% on the day. Unfortunately, it generated a sell signal on Tuesday and reversed on Wednesday, and then continued sharply higher on Thursday. Looking at the VIX, no change in trend for the VIX for the S&P, for the NASDAQ, but the Russell 2000 VIX is now back on a daily buy signal as of Thursday's close. Looking at the Canadian market, the TSX 60 continued to move lower. The TSX Composite ETF, the Vanguard Canada ETF, is still on a buy signal here. It did trade below the lower channel line, but only ended the day down 10 cents. Now, there's a difference, of course, between the two, and bank stocks certainly make up a lot more of the TSX 60 than they do the TSX Composite. And there's the financials continuing to move lower on the back of bank stocks continuing to move lower on Thursday. Of course, the other end of the scale is the energy sector, which moved up again on Thursday. We hit our next price target, and now we'll look to see if we can break out and run up to $29.69 and possibly $30. Looking at gold stocks, they also continued to move higher on Thursday, and 62.50 is our next target to the upside for the XGD. Let's finish off looking at the U.S. market, and from our small world of the ETFs that we follow, we've got some new sell signals joining the NASDAQ and the Dow already on a sell signal. So there's the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, microcaps, all on new daily sell signals as of Thursday's close. Joining the NASDAQ 100 already on a sell signal. Financials moved down sharply yesterday. U.S. bank stocks continued to move lower on Thursday. Semiconductors having an inside day on Thursday, so no change in trend there. Last up, if we look at the moon cycles, and we bottomed off the moon cycle at the end of July there, and then it looks like last week we had a moon cycle and some major celestial events, and it looks like the market may have topped on that moon cycle, so we'll have to see if we continue to move lower from here. We're certainly not doing that on Friday morning. Okay, that's all for this week. I'll be back tomorrow to do the weekend video. And on Monday, I will not be doing a video on Monday. We'll do charts on Monday night. And then the next time you'll hear my voice, if you're not a member, will be Tuesday morning. Have a wonderful weekend. And again, next time you'll hear my voice, if you're a member, will be Saturday. If you're not a member, then Tuesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.